Hey guys, I wanted to share this tip with Genji, and this works with Junkrat as well. This is actually two tips, but what I find a lot of difference between Genji and like, I don't know, bronze through platinum versus players that are playing Genji in masters and grandmasters, and why a lot of like low rank players, Genji just has a low win rate, and he just doesn't do a lot of damage. The problem is like in low games, a lot of times Genjis rely on their poke with Q and then they wait until the enemy gets low and they dash in. The problem is that you're relying on your team to get enemies low. And high ranked players, what they'll do is they'll do it a little bit differently. They'll jump in and they'll be dealing damage close up. But there's one particular thing that I see is a huge difference between high-ranked players that play Genji and Junkrat versus low-ranked players. And this is literally the difference between double his damage. So, what a lot of low-ranked players will do is they'll go up and they'll Q, and they'll go and they'll auto until their Qs are back off cooldown. Now look at the DPS for a second. That's 120 DPS, okay? So let's stop for a second. I'm going to show you something interesting. With his auto attack, his Q doesn't actually interrupt his auto attack. So you can intertwine those together. And I'm going to show you this again once it gets off cooldown. And I want to show you how this damage can pretty much be doubled. So now the DPS is 200 per second while you're up there instead of 122. So you're essentially doing double the damage if you walk up and you auto attack in between Qs. And the great part about this too is you can get closer, so more Qs will actually land. So because the way Genji's auto attack works is you can auto attack and then move while the rest of them are going. So what you can do is you can auto attack Q, auto attack Q, auto attack Q. You know what I mean? And your damage can be so much higher than it is. So if you're playing Genji in the future, just know that you can literally double your damage by alternating auto attacks with Qs. Another thing to know is that the towers will shoot at you when you're there. So if, for example, you're getting the enemy really low, you can get some extra deflect charges by just walking up to the tower and taking some shots. Finally, there's another thing that you should know about Genji is that his auto or his Q, when you use one Q, it starts on its cooldown down here. And whether you use 1 Q or 3 Qs, it's going to give all of his charges back. So if you wait until his Q's almost back up, you can shoot all of these and the reloaded ones at the same time. So I just fired 4 Qs rather than the regular one that you would do. So I'm going to show you this one more time. It's going to take about, I don't know, 10 seconds. So if you expect a fight that's going to pop up soon, you can toss 1 Q out first to get a little bit of poke, and then you can position yourself to where you're ready to fight again, and then you can go in and you can start doing your auto attack Qs. And I used 2, and we're at the third one again. And you can get your DPS up a little bit higher. So it's kind of a min-maxing thing. It works a little bit better with Junkrat because he has 4 charges, so you can fire 1 charge, you can wait till it's almost up, and you'll have 7 charges ready for the fight. 2 small little tips that you can do, but definitely are ones that I see as a big difference between pro Genji players and just every other person who picks Genji, because he's just a space ninja. If you have any other tips for Genji, feel free to leave them in the comments below. Thank you.